Hey guys, and welcome to Gwent, the Witcher card game. My name is Jaggerus, and today I'm going to be starting off the challenges and trying to unlock some new leaders. Now, if you haven't done the challenges, I recommend going through the fundamentals first. This is just a tutorial. You get some free, or you get a free keg, for example. But in terms of the deck management tutorial, don't do the card crafting one, because this one will use up 100 of your meteorite powder, and you'll craft a first light premium card. Whereas if you want to be able to spend that on something that you want, then don't do this one. But once you've gotten these done, it's now time to move on to the different factions and start unlocking new leaders. And I want to try and get Dagon, because I think with my beginner monsters deck I want to do a weather deck, so Dagon is a really useful leader there. So we're going to get started with the challenges, and I'm going to be using my armor starter deck, which is my Northern Realms beginner deck. There is a video guide on this deck on the channel. This is my beginner deck for Northern Realms, so just like not using super strong new cards to do these. I'm going to use my kind of starter deck and we'll see how it works out. So Unseen Elder is the leader we're going for now. He is the key leader for Monsters Consume. As you can see, when you play him, you'll consume allies, which means you take their strength. But in this case, he strengthens, which means it's base strength rather than boost, which would be just boosting his strength, which is when the strength turns green. So you boost it by that power. And then there's other units that basically have synergies where if you consume something, they trigger something else. So that's the idea behind the Unseen Elder. So we've got some hints. Wait until your opponent plays a unit and consumes it with an Ekamara. Then weaken or damage the Ekamara. Useful cards, Dimitri Bomb and Margarita. So Margarita is a card that locks, and Dimitri Bomb is a card that resets. And the reason these are useful is probably because he's going to be boosting power. Bear in mind that Ekamara, when it's played, it stays on the battlefield for the next turn, which is why it's recommended you target that card.
I help you.
Close ranks!
Whew, lots of cards. Okay, what have we got? First Light, Immune Boost. First Light is always good against monsters. Though I feel like he's playing Consume, so usually they don't play Weather. Marigold's Hailstorm, Reaver Scout, Redanian Elite. Oh, we got all of our gold cards. So we don't actually want all of our gold cards because we have Royal Decree in hand. So we can use Royal Decree to target draw one. So I'm going to mulligan Geralt's there. That's something to be kind of aware of. In terms of our special cards, I'm also going to mulligan Immune Boost for the time being. Trident Infantryman is alright. And we'll get rid of one of the Reaver Scouts, I think. Oh, we got two First Lights. That's slightly awkward. We wanted some of our cards that kind of boosted other cards. So this is a prize-winning cow. If you damage it or kill it, it spawns a 6 strength Chort on the row. For now, we're going to open with our leader ability. We'll just pop this. I always end up playing things in the front row.
Onward!
Like, if you're against me, just weather my front row, because this seems to be where I play all my cards when I'm given the choice. Full Test boosts all units in your hand and deck by 1, so he's worth playing early. And there you can see he damaged it to spawn the Chort. So we can play the Redanian Elite. I think we're probably going to have to use one of our First Lights just to draw a card at this rate, to be honest. Anyway, we'll play the... actually, we'll play the Trident Infantryman for now. This is just kind of while we figure out what he's playing, basically. And so there's move a card from one graveyard to the other. So now I have Alza's Thunder in my graveyard. I'm not entirely sure what that strategy is all about. This is, remember, a beginner. We do have Marigold's Hailstorm, which is really nice. We can actually use that to half all the units on a row. This is one of the cards that I find fits into any deck, so is maybe quite useful for beginners. I think what we'll do for the time being is we'll play our Redanian Elite. We're going to play him in a different row. Although, actually, if we play him in this row, we can start to boost them if we draw a specific card. So, potentially we play him here for now. The risk of stacking one row is then it's targetable with stuff like Marigold's Hailstorm, for example. He's just moving this card back and forth between the graveyards. So I'm going to play my First Light, not to clear Weather here, but to Rally. Rally will pull me a bronze card from my hand. This card takes the armor from 2 other cards, like so, and gives it to his power. So those 6 armor got turned into strength. And you'll notice that when the Redanian Elite went down to 0 armor, he gained a bunch of points. And the Unseen Elder is not coping so well with this one, so we have won the round, which is nice. Getting a round in hand like that is, you know, really good. Especially as we didn't get card disadvantage to do it. So again, we're going to mulligan Geralt, because we have a Royal Decree. We can pull him out when we need him. So he can go for now. And we got Redanian Knight Elect. The issue here, really, is that we don't have that many armor units to pull. We've got a lot of cards that do stuff with armor units, but we don't have anything that we can kind of summon, unfortunately. But what we can do for the time being is we'll play out the Royal Decree and we'll play Geralt. Geralt is better when you're behind. You know, he'll be worth 13. but at this stage in the game we don't have that many options, so it's better to be a little bit prepared. So they have a 12 strength ghoul. It doesn't look like this guy's running any weather, so I'm going to take a risk and use my rally in order to get a unit. And oh, Reaver Scout. That's unfortunate, it can happen. Reaver Scouts summon a copy of a different bronze ally, but you have to have the bronze ally on the board, basically. As it is, what we can do, though, is we can pop our Redanian Knight Elect down here, and he'll start buffing the Reaver Scout, which is a strategy, and then we can use the Reaver Scout to draw more cards. He played Crone Wispus. Crone Wispus is a card that summons Crone Brewers and Crone Weavers from your deck. It seems like he either has Crone Brewers and Weavers in hand, or he doesn't have them in their deck. This is a card where you play it out and you pull the other ones from your deck. It's a big power swing. So interesting that he has it like this. This often means that a player has them in their hands, but if they're a new player, you know, it could mean that they just don't have them, basically. So what we're going to do, I think, is we'll pop the Reaver Scout down here.
I told you so.
We'll use that to pull a Redanian Elect, and we'll put that one here.
Best give up now.
So now the Redanian Elects are both buffing my Reaver Scouts, which is nice. Yeah, so it looks like he's got his Crones in hand. And this seems like a good enough time to use Philippa. Philippa will basically target units and start damaging them, more or less. So that's what we want to do here. We'll hit the... It doesn't really matter what we hit. None of these have kind of the one that keeps them on the board. But if we do that, you can see she zapped a bunch of different targets. And now they're all a bit weaker. He's behind, so he'll get 13 points from his Geralt. But you can see that these guys are getting buffed each time, which is nice. I could play my Dunbanar Heavy Cavalry and take the armor off these guys, but that'll stop them from boosting these guys. So that's maybe worth doing later on. For the time being, I think what we'll do is we'll play Triss.
Just great.
And we'll clear the Crone. Decoy's not useful because there's no point in replaying a Reaver Scout, basically. It's just gonna pull the... Well, it's not gonna pull anything because I only have 2 Redanian Knight Elects in this deck. What we can do now, I think, is because there's so few turns left, we're okay to play the Dunbanar Heavy Cavalry. And then take the armor off these guys. Like so. And then that guy will be 7. It stops them from boosting, but I think, like, at this point advantage level, we're pretty much okay. And now we can play Marigold's Hailstorm on this row, which will half the strength of that Ekamara, removing 5 points from him. You can see that he spread his units out, so they weren't particularly stacked. But as it is, we have 2-0'd the AI. Seems good. We don't need to play our decoy, of course, so we'll just pass here. He doesn't have... Oh, he's got Unseen Elder. He can consume 3 cards, but he doesn't have cards that trigger consume effects, so that wouldn't have been that useful for him. And that's the first match. I didn't expect it to be too difficult, simply because it's the first one. Like, I feel like it's designed to ease you in, and we have 25 ore, which we can start to use towards kegs. So, in we go. Hint, banish your opponent's Neckers to disrupt their strategy. Useful cards, Demirtian Bomb, Letho of Kool-Aid. Letho is a Nilfgaard card. It's interesting that they're like suggesting you play him. Anyway, use Nilfgaard to defeat this deck. So Neckers are 3 strength units, which basically what they do is when they die, they pull another Necker from the graveyard, and when you consume a unit, they get boosted by 1. So we've got Immune Boost, Decoy, Royal Decree, Reaver Scout, Cavalry, Redanian Elite, Tridum, and Geralt. We don't have any removal here, which is a little bit worrisome. I'm going to mulligan the first light because I feel like this is definitely a consume strategy, so I feel like we can afford to do that. And I'll mulligan the immune boost here. Marigold's Hailstorm is nice, but it doesn't straight remove anything. And I'm wondering if Decoy is really that useful in this situation, because I guess we could Decoy the Reaver Scout and pull more units, but I think for the time being we're going to mulligan it. And we got a Reaver Scout anyway, which is what we would have decoyed, so, you know. That is what it is. And there you can actually see the Crone effect, you know, taking place. We're going to throw out Geralt, though, because we'll get full strength on him if we play him here. So we get our full 13. There he is. Because this is, she had more points than me. Basically, if I gained 10 and she had more points, then I gained +3. So there's the Necker. Unfortunately, we don't have much removal. We're going to play full test now. Full test boosts all of our cards. It's better to play early. And we'll be a little bit careful here. So here's the consume effect. So he's going to eat his crones, and in doing that, obviously he absorbs their power. And the Necker, and you'll notice that buffed the power of the Necker and then played a new one, so that's the kind of strategy there. The thing is, at the moment he only has up to 3 in his deck, so, you know, this isn't the most useful situation for him, I would say. Like, it's useful, don't get me wrong, but it's not, like, the most useful. So let's play our
Awaiting your
infantryman
orders.
now. He's worth a decent amount of points. She removed his armor. So rude. Sorry, he. I guess Unseen Elder is he. I don't know, it's a vampire. I guess vampires have gender. And then you can see the Ekamara is eating a unit, and that's going to get kept on the board. So this is becoming kind of problematic for us. As it is... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I was going to play a Reaver Scout to pull another one, because otherwise our Reaver Scouts are kind of useless. But it is what it is. So now we can play the cavalry, absorb the armor from both of these, like so. And then these get boosted to 11, which is nice. So there's the Ekamara, which is going to get kept. He's got a 7 strength necker, which is kind of annoying. We can pull another heavy cavalry, but it's not worth it. I actually misplayed that with the Reaver Scouts. Fortunately, we can mulligan one. What I could do is pull Triss, and actually I think I'm going to do that here. Is we're going to play Royal Decree, which we can use to pull... Or we could pull... Actually, we're going to pull Philippa. We'll play her here. And we'll target the Ekamara, and this should hopefully also hit the Necker. There we go. So now the Necker is really low, which is nice, and we're trying to disrupt his strategy. If I'd killed the Necker, it would have been perfect. But as the way it worked, obviously that didn't happen. We're winning, so we could pass here. The problem here is that we invested quite a lot in that round. And we don't have that much to kind of show for it. You should see a Necker come out, although maybe he actually ate all his Neckers, so I don't think it will come out. First lights are okay, they'll give us a bronze card. We're going to mulligan a Reaver Scout because we need to get rid of those to find, you know, useful cards, basically. Which we've managed to do. So let's open with... So if I play First Light and I don't have a target, then there's no point playing Seeley. So we're going to open with the Redanian Knight Elect, I think. So now that that's out, we can then basically use Seeley to play a First Light. So there's the Necker Warrior. These are used to duplicate the Neckers, and that's something that he needed to do earlier on, because then he can kind of keep chaining Neckers and pulling them out of his deck. Because what this does is it creates 2 base copies of a bronze ally at the bottom of your deck. So you can play a Necker, duplicate it with the Necker Warrior, and then as you do the consume effects to buff your Neckers, every time one gets removed or consumed, it pulls another one from your deck, and you have multiple from your deck, if that makes sense. So that's kind of the strategy you want to employ there.
In politics.
So let's play this First Light, why not? And then we'll rally into a Reaver
But we're
Scout.
broke as shit peddlers.
Pull out one of these. And
Best
play
give
that.
up now.
Like so. Oh, and I got Commander's Horn. Nice. Why did I get Commander's Horn? Oh, because, of course, because Seeley played a special card, so I draw a card. This is... Honestly, we're in a really nice position here. What I'm going to do, I think, is just play First Light, and we'll play Rally. I'm not, like I say, worried about weather because of the state of the card that I'm playing here. This is an annoying draw because I didn't want to remove the armor from these. I wanted to leave it, but... I mean, it was a risk. I was hoping for Redanian Knight, but... You know, I kind of should have expected this. There's not that many cards left in the deck. As it is, though, what we can do is we can... play our Reaver Scout.
I told you so, you idiot.
Just to get a 5th card on the row, and then we'll Commander's Horn them. I feel like, you know, his draw's been really unfortunate. And then we can Commander's Horn these, buffs them all up. We're on 55 points. And we have our, you know, remove half of their health card here. So this will do 4 damage here or 4 damage here. We'll hit the Ekamara just because that's being kept. It rounds down, so that's why it was only doing 4. And then he can... I was going to say he can play his last card, but he's going to pass. And we've 2-0'd this leader as well. Though it does seem like the opponent has had some pretty unfortunate draw, I'm going to be honest with you, in this situation. And I do feel like with this deck, maybe it's worth toning it down a little bit with the Reaver Scouts. So basically, this is the starter deck I made, but maybe taking out one of the Reaver Scouts and putting in another Tridam Infantryman as well, just because, you know, they're generally useful. I think I might actually do that. Just in this situation, it feels like that would be a bit more useful. So we'll go to our deck builder, and this is kind of what you need to be doing as you make a deck. Is kind of realize where is my deck lacking? You know, what's the issue? And I feel like here I don't have enough big units, and I have too many Reaver Scouts. So if we take this guy out and we put in a, I hate scrolling. I guess I could just hold this. A Tridam Infantryman, which is an 8 strength unit. So we're eventually going to get there. I might have a bit more luck with this, so let's do that. And like I said, these are the kind of tweaks that you wanna make, you know, just as you're playing, depending on what you're against and stuff, figure out what it is that your deck needs. Okay, challenges. Let's continue. There we go. Wait until your opponent strengthens or boosts their units, then weaken or destroy them when the time is right. Useful cards, Dimmerteam Bomb and Scorch. We do have Scorch in this deck. We don't have Dimmerteam Bomb, but Dimmerteam Bomb is, I agree, a useful card. It's one that fits in a lot of decks. It resets powers cards that are boosted back down to their base strength. And if they're gold, I think it turns them into silvers. Okay, so this is a good starting hand. We have all of our Redanian elites, which is nice. And our Knight Elects and Seele, so we need to have a special card. We do have Commander's Horn, so that's good. Our Reaver Scouts aren't that useful here, which is interesting. I think what we need to do is mulligan one of the Redanian elites. I'm trying to find a one of those armor dudes, the ones that take armor from units. I'm going to get rid of one of the Reaver Scouts, I think. Okay, not bad. What are you going to play? Crone. So he must have Crones in hand if he's only playing one of them, which is always good for us. I feel like this has happened every single time. Let's plonk Full Test down, and he'll buff all of our cards, so we get the bonus of him nice and early, rather than playing cards and then playing Full Test, basically. Now, it's liable that he's going to eat these. I'm just going to put that out there. Often with Consume, if you play Crones, you then eat the Crones. So that's just something to be aware of.
Troops, here now!
So there is our Redanian Knight Elect. And I think what we'll do here is we'll play our next one, like so. And then what we can do is we can play Seele and play First Light. Right, so here they get Ed, which means I can't target them. But he doesn't really get the Consume effect because he didn't play any Consume units, which was kind of weird. So we'll play this, then we'll play this, and we'll rally. And we got another armored unit. And we'll plop him, I guess here in the middle is fine. Unfortunately, like I say, we're not absorbing our armor. We drew another Redanian Elite, which is okay. He's been locked. We're a little bit behind. What we can do here is we could Commander's Horn. Commander's Horn would be okay, basically. Alternatively, we can obviously play Triss Marigold and target something that he might consume. But I feel like this isn't that good of a target. So I think what we'll do for the time being is we'll put the Redanian Knight Elect down. Because this is just stacking the row, which allows us to then Commander's Horn lots of units. And you can see there he's removing our armor. But in removing the armor, he actually boosted the unit. Because when the armor's removed on this unit, it gets boosted. So kind of a weird choice there. We could decoy Seele, but we don't have any bronze special cards for her to play. So that's not really worthwhile. And we could play our Redanian Elite. But I think we're going to need him for the next round. So what I'm going to do for now is just... we're going to toot. Play Commander's Horn and toot it up. Nice and far ahead. He's chosen to pass. We can now choose to pass. And I think we're more or less in an okay position here. Like I say, he's not getting his Consume synergies off for some reason, which is a little bit weird. Blizzard Potion. Blizzard Potion, sorry, Immune Boost isn't that useful here. But neither is a Reaver Scout, really. I mean, what you can do here is, as a tactic, which I'm going to show you guys, is you pass. That's it. I don't want to play anything because I don't have exactly the cards that I need. So if we pass, it forces him to play a unit, which he's done there. And you can see now he'll pass because he's ahead. I'm assuming he'll pass. But that gives us card advantage going into the next round, which means he's one card down. He does get a draw, which means that he might be more likely to get his Consume synergies. But, oh, that is not a good card. Although as it is, we can mulligan then one of these and get something instead. Okay, honestly not the greatest of draws. Reaver Scout's not going to pull anything. So that makes our life a little bit awkward here. We'll play our Redanian Elite for now. So yeah, he's not going to draw anything, so that's kind of awkward. We have Regis. Regis is going to eat a card and get points. We can Reaver Scout, but we have nothing to Reaver Scout is the problem. And we have nothing that's really worth decoying. There's a Consume. We can't play Philippa until he has 2 cards on the board either, so that's something else to be aware of. I'm just worried that I don't feel like I have enough points, really. Because as you can see, he's kind of chaining them all. Like, he's eating one and then the other. We will Immune Boost our Reaver Scouts. That just gives them 3 points each and some armor. There's a spider. So now we could... the question is, do we play Marigold's Hailstorm or do we play Philippa? Or do we, you know... the thing is, Philippa will hit him for 5, then for 3, then for 4, and then for 3. We ideally need one more unit to Philippa. So I think actually what we're going to do is stall for time. So this is actually what we're doing with the decoy, is we're stalling for time. It also gives the Redanian Elite a little bit more base strength. It removes his boost, but it gives him some base strength, so this is an okay strategy. Okay, now I feel like playing Philippa's alright. So let's play Philippa.
You do not deserve to live.
And we'll focus this unit here. There we go. So you can see we did a decent amount of damage there. Grave Hag. Oh, that's awkward. But good news, we have Royal Decree. We can pull Triss. I forgot we had Geralt in here. I miscounted my golden cards. So Triss, you can target a unit. Grave Hag, after one turn, it will consume all units in the graveyard and then gain points for each one, which we do not want him to do, so we're just going to kill that. And unfortunately, we had the target draw to get rid of it. So even with our relatively poor draw in terms of our Reaver Scouts, it worked out pretty much okay, so let's just pass here. Turns out I shouldn't have mulliganed my golden card because I did in fact have 2 in the deck. So keep track of your golden cards, guys. That generally helps. But there we go, as it is, we've unlocked the Unseen Elder. So now I want to try and get Dagon, like I said. So we're going to continue with these challenges. And they give you a little bit of ore as well, which is nice. Hint, remove weather effects from rows you have units on to try and restore their strength. Useful cards, First Light and Clantorderoch Armorsmith. So there's specific units that remove weather, for example, like in monsters they have a Griffin, which will remove weather from a row if you play it on that row. I like First Light because it also gives you Rally, which is a nice effect. There are equivalents in Northern Realms, for example, that you can use.
Crush those vermin!
Now you have to be aware that he's always going to have some weather to play because of Dagon. Like until he plays Dagon, he'll always have weather. And unfortunately here we don't have any First Lights, so we're going to go looking for them. I'll get rid of my Tridam Infantry. And a Redanian Elite. Lacerate. Lacerate is good. I can't believe we didn't see that at all last game. But not ideal. I think what we can do is we'll get rid of Decoy for now. Just because we don't have the bestest of targets. So we got a lot of gold cards. So there's Dagon, there's Weather, and he's played Fog on a row, and Fog, what it does is it pulls the Foglets from the deck. If you remove Fog, however, the Foglets go back into the deck. So that's just something to be aware of. We'll play Full Test. And we could play him on the front row, it doesn't really matter because he won't be affected by the Fog. So yeah, let's put him in the front row just so that we don't start stacking points on one row. Because if you stack too many points on one row, you can be susceptible to cards like Igni, and that's something you don't really want. There's the Lightning Potion. So they're all buffed, which means that removing them is going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. Because we don't have any weather removal here, like I say, this is where things get a bit awkward. We can still Lacerate though, as is. So let's play our... Oh, he has to go in the melee row. That's not what we want to do. I wanted to play this guy and this guy so that I could then play the cavalry. We'll play the Redanian Elite for now anyway. It's good just also to see what our opponent does. We can play Geralt. If we play Geralt, you know, that's going to give us 13 points, but it's going to put us at a significant card disadvantage if we do. Honestly, in this situation, I feel like this round is probably worth losing, unfortunately. Just because we didn't get a First Light. If we had a First Light, we could have removed the Neckers, but in our starting hand, we didn't get one. Bear in mind, this is AI, so you could just quit and start again until you got First Lights in your hand, if you were so inclined. It's worth kind of being aware of that. This draw is nice. I think I'm going to get rid of... I need to try and find... Weather, so I think I'm going to get rid of Lacerate. But if I get rid of Lacerate, I can't use Sile, is the problem. So maybe we mulligan one of our golds, because we can always find it again. Marigold's Hellstorm is not terrible. Hey look, it's the same strategy. On the plus side now we can play our Tridam Infantrymen in the front row.
Awaiting your orders.
Now we have to win this round, so because we haven't... Oh wow, calm down. Because we haven't won a round yet, basically we have to win this one, which means that we can't pass until he passes, because if we pass he'll just keep playing cards and win. This is awkward. I'm surprised we haven't seen Scorch at all. Like, we haven't seen Scorch in any of these games. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Reaver Scout, even though it's going in Fog, which is kind of annoying. I feel like it's okay.
You one of us or not?
And then pull a second one of these out. Because once we have 2 of them, we can then take the armor off them with the Dunbanner Heavy Cavalry. On the plus side, if these guys get buffed up, we can just, you know, Marigold's Hailstorm the back row. So that's something to be aware of. As it is, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play the Cavalry. And I'm going to take the armor off these guys, like so. And there we go, nice and buffed. I like how all we found was First Lights in the... all we found was First Lights in the previous games, and we didn't need them against Consume, and now we can't find one. Okay, so what we'll do here is we'll play Sile. She's going to go into the Fog, which is annoying, but she might draw us a First Light. Then we'll play the Lacerate on the Foglets, because we can always Marigold's Hailstorm the back row. Jesus Christ, how much fog do you have? So the problem is these guys are going to be getting debuffed every round. And that's not something that we really want to see. On the plus side, what we can do is immune boost them, and that'll give them some more armor. And then this guy's going to keep buffing this guy each round, so at least he won't get killed. So Ciri, he'll get back if we pass, basically. I think what we can do here is Commander's Horn the front row. Just give them some more points and try and encourage the pass, basically. We need to win this round. Oh wow, he just moved a unit out of fog. I'll take it. Although the armor just got removed from that guy and he got buffed by another 5. So in actual fact, because I gave him armor, the fog has actually helped us. We're now going to use Marigold's Hailstorm on the back row and get a significant number of points from it. All of those units just got halved. So he should, there we go. I was going to say he should pass now. I would be incredibly surprised if he didn't. Okay, so he's got 2 cards and we have at least 2 gold cards. Let me think. Well, actually he's got 3 cards because he got Ciri back. We've got Philippa and I think we get rid of the cavalry. Cleaver. Cleaver's a nice draw there. I go first. I think we've just got Philippa left in the deck. What golden cards do I have? Royal Decree, Philippa, Triss and Philippa. I'm going to say Triss and Philippa. I'm going to open with Geralt. I don't get his bravery, which is not great, but, you know, it's not terrible. So now we'll play Cleaver. And we're going to lock the Foglet. That means that if he does play Fog, that he won't get the buffs, basically. And now we can play Royal Decree. And we'll play Triss, because Philippa doesn't have a target to bounce to, so she's not worth as many points.
How can I
we'll hit the Ancient Foglet. And if he has, you know, enough points in 2 cards, he has enough points in 2 cards. It's going to be close. We've got 9 points in it. Do you have 9 points? No! Ha ha ha! Oh, we beat him without a single first light. That feels really good, you guys. That feels super good. But this just goes to show you don't need, like, the greatest ever deck to beat these guys. But you can, like I say, if you don't get first lights, you can just, you know, restart. Endless Swarm. Okay. So I'm guessing what his plan is here is to duplicate Foglets. Banish or lock your opponent's Neckers to disrupt their strategy. Yeah, locking Neckers does work because it means that when they go to the graveyard, they don't pull another one. And Cleaver is a good card for that. But really, we haven't seen him that much in the last 4 games. We've seen him once, and it was when I mulliganed my final card in the final round.
Close ranks!
Ooh, there's Scorch. See, I told you I had Scorch. And we got a first light too. Lacerate, Decoy. We got too many special cards here. Cleaver is nice. Philippa, good. Geralt, good. Royal Decree, good. Redanian Knight is good. I'm going to mulligan the Decoy, I think. For Cavalry, I just want some removal. The Cavalry is not that useful because there's nothing I want to remove armor from, so we'll mulligan that as well. Seeley is good. We've got, you know, cards to play with her. And I think we'll... The problem is we don't have that many other points to put on the board other than gold cards. Do we leave it at this? I think we'll leave it at this, and we'll see how it goes. Like, lack of bronzes here is a little bit awkward, but it means we can draw them going into the next round. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play Seeley. Use her to play Lacerate. I don't want to remove the weather just yet, just kill his Foglets, basically. And we drew a Reaver Scout, which is nice. So he's going to play more Fog. So this is what I meant by removing, not using the first light, because now what we can do is clear skies. Like so, and then the Fog gets removed. And Fog, it does damage to the strongest unit, I think, actually. I thought it did damage to all the units, but it doesn't actually do that. So we're quite far behind, so we can play Geralt here. And what Geralt will do is become a 13, so it gives us a little bit of a catch-up. He's buffing his crones. I mean, I guess then what we should just do is play Philippa, right? Play Philippa, target the strongest one, she'll bounce between them, like so, and then they have no points. There's a Foglet. Oh, I forgot to play Full Test. Let's play Full Test. The good news is I've only played 1 card before I played Full Test. So, you know, only Seeley didn't get buffed, and it's okay. This looks very Hailstormable. The alternative is we Scorch. We'll kill both of his 6s, because the 6s is the strongest unit on the board. You know, it's we have to take account our units as well. We have a 4. But we could Scorch the 6s. Alternatively, if we Hailstorm, we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. I feel like the fact that the row is stacked means that it makes sense to do that. But before we do that, I'm going to pop the Redanian Knight Elect out, which means we're not going to play Scorch. This is just to allow him more time to stack more cards on the rows. I guess he just duplicated Ancient Foglets to the bottom of his deck, which is, you know, not a very useful strategy, to be honest. So let's just do this. They all get halved. And now we don't want to Scorch because we will hit ourselves. But what we can do is we can pop out the Reaver Scout.
But we're broke as
We can
shit
draw
peddlers.
another Redanian Knight Elect. And we'll slot that one in there.
Long live it.
I just need him to pass. Why won't you pass? I mean, we could roll Decree Triss, but I would rather use her to kill a thing. You know, we're 10 points ahead. I think we pass here. I don't know why he's duplicating Ancient Foglets to the bottom of his deck. That is not a smart choice. Like, if I were the AI, I would have passed this round because I didn't have the Neckers that he wants to duplicate. Because I think his strategy is to duplicate Neckers. So, First Light, Scorch, Royal Decree, Reaver Scout, Cleaver. We'll get rid of the Reaver Scout because we don't have a target for it. We got Decoy. Decoy is nice here because we can replay Cleaver. So we can basically lock 2 of his cards. And I'm wondering if we can 2-0 him here. Like, we don't have a bad hand. Come on, Dagon, you can do it. I didn't think these... I thought these were meant to be, like, a little bit challenging, you know? I really don't feel like he's showcasing Weather as an archetype at all. Oh, it's my turn. Of course it's my turn. I'm an idiot. Huh. I mean, we could rally and pull Triss, but she's not going to do anything. I think we'll just play Cleaver for now. We can decoy him, so it doesn't really... I was going to say it doesn't really matter. Let's rally. Let's see what we get. That's not bad. Decoy here is completely useless, and Scorch is probably going to be useless, which is kind of a problem. But we can, at the very least, pull out his cards. But the thing is, if I pull out his cards, I don't have any points to play on the next turn. We're kind of scuppered. As it is, though, we're going to play Triss. And we'll hit this. And we'll see what he has.
Damn it.
He's 2 points. I can decoy the Tridem Infantryman. And that'll give him some more points. I'm just trying to basically force him to play all his cards. So he wins. We can't Scorch because it'll kill us. But what it does mean is that we can pass now. And then we can go into the next round. Basically. Oh, is it going to be a tie? Because if I don't draw points here, it's going to be a tie. Okay, we want a mulligan Commander's Horn. There we go, we got some points. So he has to play a card. That's interesting. Then we can play Scorch and kill those. He now has no cards, and we have points. So that was why I was saying it depends on what he draws. If he'd drawn a gold card, though, you know, he would have been scuppered.
Long live the king!
We'll pop our Redanian Elite down here, and then we'll pass. And we win! Feels good. Oh my gosh, that was an interesting one. But, like, I wanted to bleed him out of cards in the second round, and that's something that you can do when you have card advantage, is you can choose to just kind of force your opponent to have, basically, to play their cards, and in doing that, you know, give them a harder time. Right, remember your opponent might have more than one card applying a given weather type. Oh, no shit. So, it looks like he's playing the Woodland Spirit, and Woodland Spirit, that was the icon for this, is a, I think, 7 strength fog card. It's 7 strength gold card that applies fog and spawns 3 1 strength wolves. So that's worth being aware of. We got a First Light, which is nice. Royal Decree, Reaver Scout, Infantryman, Sealay, Geralt. Do we have a special card to play with Sealay? We have First Light. Do we have a useful card to decoy Reaver Scout? Yeah, we do. So I think we'll mulligan the immune boost for the time being. I don't want both the Reaver Scouts. Redanian Elite is nice. I think we'll leave it at that. It's not bad. It's not a bad hand, all things told. Our turn. Hey, look, we're playing full test. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought it? So there we go. There's the wind strength. Sorry, 5 strength, and you spawn 3 wolves, and then you apply fog. Holy smokes. A lacerate would be so nice here. I mean, if we remove the fog, bear in mind we removed the foglets, so that's something that we can just be aware of. I think what I'll do for the time being, though, I don't want to remove the fog just yet. I'm going to play my Redanian Elite.
Troops, here now!
And we're not going to play on a fog row. If he plays a second fog, that's when we'll start to do removal. Holy smokes. Right, let's play Geralt. Geralt affords us some catch-up, basically. So that hopefully he doesn't pass here. There's a foglet. So I think now what I'm gonna do... If we remove the fog, he loses 6 points. And we draw a card. I feel like that's not a bad play.
I've no interest in politics.
But bear in mind, then we can't remove fog later. So that's just worth being aware of. We got another Redanian elite. There goes Dagon. Out comes more fog. That is really annoying because I can't clear the fog unless... Oh, I don't have another special card. I was going to say I could decoy Sile. I think we give him this round. Honestly, like, he's got too many cards on the board. And there you saw the power of Crones because he played one and got all three. Whereas previously when they played the Crones, they seemed to draw badly and have them in their hand. That's a risk if you're running Foglets and Crones, that you can't mulligan all of them. What have we got here? I think this is okay. In all honesty. There's more fog. Let's play infantrymen in the front row. And then we can actually Reaver Scout a second one out. Which doesn't seem like a bad plan. The problem is I can't Scorch because of this guy. I mean, our Reaver Scout's going to get killed by the fog. But I think getting the second infantryman out is nice. He was going to get killed anyway, so that's an interesting choice. The problem is these guys are both 7. And these guys are 9, so it's a little bit awkward in that we can't Scorch at the moment. We'll pop out our Redanian Elect. Oh my god, how much weather does one have? Calm down. We have to win this round, though. I think we roll Decree and pull Philippa. I'm going to target the Wild Hunt Warrior. I don't really want to hit the Ancient Foglet, to be honest, because that's going to be the one that I Scorch once it gets a few more points. I just fogged the row instead. Calm down. We can actually decoy this, though. How many points does this have? What's its base strength? I think its base strength is 9. So if we decoy it, we would reset its armor, which would stop it getting hit. Although if it gets hit, then we can target the Ancient Foglet. Which we could have locked. That was another option. Let's play this.
Long live the king!
I wish he would just pass. He's going full on tryhard mode here. Because we can always decoy this like once it's lost a few points, so that's okay. Let's put this here. Okay, so now we can play our Scorch. Remove his 11. Hopefully he'll pass here. Like, I feel like we're far enough ahead that he should pass. Or not. These are going to get boosted because he has the trio. But he's still not ahead is the thing. You know, so he's not in the best spot. We're going to decoy our infantrymen. I want to keep some points for the final round. And actually we can move the infantrymen out of fog here. Which is a nice option. So let's do that.
Resistance is futile.
I don't know why he played his last card when he doesn't have any points to gain. I guess because this forces me to play my last card. Although actually no, because if I pass, the weather effect triggers at the start of my turn, right? So if I pass, he now has to pass because he got no cards and we win the round. So it's worth being aware when card effects trigger, because if he had one more card I would have gotten hit again. So that would have been very worthwhile. Oh my god, I didn't realize that they get kept. Because he lost the round, he kept the scouts. I don't think we can win this. We have 14 points. And he has... Oh dear. So we're going to open with Triss because Triss is not really targetable. But I think we're in a really bad spot.
You will see it.
Wait, I draw cards. Oh, this might actually save the day because of the hailstorm.
I'm a dwarf.
So I didn't realize these guys get boosted every time they're in a trio at the end of the round. Like, if you can get all 3 Wild Hunt Riders out. What on earth was that? Was that Ragnarug? I think that was Ragnarug. Jiminy Cricket. What on earth is... He got Ragnarug out of his final card. Lord of Undvik. So Ragnarug, every turn you take this much damage on the row. Yeah, we're going to have to try this one again, you guys. And potentially, I think we might need to put, you know, some more clear skies in for this specific matchup. Being able to clear weather is going to be massive. Holy crap. Right. Let's tweak our deck. This is what I think you have to do. I think we have to tweak our deck and try again. Just for the specific challenge, basically. So what I'm going to do is if I look at my collection here, there's other weather removal cards you can put in. Sorry, not collection. I want to go to deck builder. I always do this every time. I'm like, oh, collection. That's where I'll be able to make decks. So for example, if I can find them in here, there's a bronze card that also removes weather. So what we're going to do, I think, is if we take out the heavy cavalry for the time being, and we take out the immune boost, we're going to put in one more first light, but also there's a 6 strength unit that clears weather on the row. The blue stripe scout, deploy clear weather from any row. We'll put her on this row for the time being just so that you can see what's going on. So we're going to put 3 blue stripe scouts in, and then if we go back to all, we'll put the last first light in. That's 26 cards though. I guess we take out 1 infantryman. You want to make it more consistent that you draw your weather removal, basically. The alternative is you could go for locks, but we already have a lock. I think this is good. Let's have a go with it and see how it works out. So back to the challenges. That's the first one though that we lost. I was like complaining that they weren't hard enough, and the game was like, "Oh, they're not hard enough, are they, Jaggeris? Well, don't you worry. Don't you worry. We'll make them harder." So monsters, Dagon cultists, armor starter. Here we go. Right, let's go. First light and water hag. Water hag, I think, gives you a choice of different cards to play, whether you can play rain or other ones. We have to stop him also getting his trio of
Close ranks!
Wild Hunt Riders. That was quite painful for us. So, Lacerate, Decoy, Hailstorm, Reaver Scout, Elite, Blue Stripe Scout, Blue Stripe Scout. So we'll get rid of the Trident Infantryman. We have a Reaver Scout, so we can get rid of the Redanian Elite. Commander's Horn is okay. We got some weather removal. I think this will do. I mean, maybe we mulligan the Redanian Knight Elect. Or we could mulligan a blue stripe. No, I think we need to keep 2 weather removal. That was a worthwhile removal, though. Our turn. So let's play full test. In a row. Jesus. There's Woodland Spirit, to which we can react, obviously, with our blue stripe scout. So, like so. Just get rid of the weather. And this is just trying to bait out as much of his weather this turn as we can. Crones are irritating, but we can always half their strength. You know, if we play the Marigold's Hailstorm, he's going to lose 10 points, which is decent. So let's just play the Redanian Elite for now.
Troops, here now!
There's more weather. So actually what I can do here is I can decoy the Blue Stripe Scout rather than playing both of mine. So we can just play the Reaver Scout onto the Blue Stripe Scout. Play another one in this row.
Must die!
And that gives us 10 points and clears his weather and removes his foglet, so pretty good. He really, really wants to fog this row, can you tell? I'm just a bit worried about playing all of my weather removal this round. That's kind of a risk. So let's just decoy this one instead. And play it again.
Regroup.
And you can see this is why it's useful to have units that clear weather rather than necessarily first lights. Fucking hell, dude. Like, I feel like he's not taking the hint here. So what Fog I think does... Let me think. What does Fog do? Fog does 2 damage to the weakest unit? Strongest unit. So you're going to take 2 damage. I think this is actually okay for the time being. Because I know he has Ragnarok in this deck, and I don't want to deal with that. So let's Hailstorm the back row for the time being. And just get our points there. Okay. So now I think we maybe do want to play this. We do have first lights in the deck. We've got 3 of them, so we are likely to find those. So let's just play this for the time being.
Bloody non-humans.
I think it's a risk, but I think it's a risk worth taking. Like, I think I need to win this round, sorry. And now we can actually lacerate and we'll do 1, 2, 3, 9 damage by the looks of things. Or we could Commander's Horn. Let's Lacerate, because Lacerate encourages him to play more cards because he's not too far behind. And the more cards we can bleed out of him now, you know, the better. And he has more weather. We're going to Commander's Horn, though. Which I'm hoping will cause him to pass, because we're that far ahead. There we go, thank you. Now we just have to expect freaking Ragnarok coming out, and then, like, 3 Wild Hunt Riders. Jiminy Cricket. Like, the amount of weather he played in that first round that we cleared was ridiculous. Can I have a first light, please? I'm going to get rid of the Redanian Elite, because I don't have a way to remove his armor. So we'll open with the Tridem Infantryman. Although, actually, that was maybe a mistake because of Scorch. We'll play this one.
Resistance is futile.
I'm thinking we lock the Wild Hunt Rider. Because Wild Hunt Riders are kind of a pain in the ass.
I'm a dwarf for business.
He doesn't play a unit with more than 9 strength. Okay, he's going to have to play one more card if he wants to win here. The problem is we couldn't Scorch because of our infantrymen. I feel like if we played it in a different order, it still would have been the case, though, because we would have played a 7. So, you know, we still would have had that problem. Oh, Jesus, what is this hand? Maybe mulligan the Scorch.
It's time.
If you play Ragnarok, I'm actually going to garrot you, just so you know that. This is nice. We're going to play Geralt last to hope that we get his Brave effect. So let's play the Redanian Elite for now. There's Fog. This is actually going to remove the armor, so I'm actually going to let this happen, basically. We'll play this guy. Basically, I'm letting the Fog happen for the time being, because it allows me to then buff this guy. And now we're going to clear skies. Which removes his Foglets, and please don't have Ragnarok. Although if he has Ragnarok, we can still win. We have Geralt. I think we still win with Geralt. So then we play Geralt.
Damn it.
But we're going to take 6 damage. But I think that's still enough. I think we're good. Oh, dearie me. There we go. We are, in fact, still good. Whew. So, yeah, just for the final match, just tech out your deck with as much weather removal as you have if you want to do this. But just goes to show, like, I basically beat all of the rounds there with a beginner deck. So, well, all of them bar the last one with a beginner deck. So it's definitely possible to unlock new leaders with beginner cards, so don't feel like you can't. You just need to kind of understand the archetype that your opponent is playing, basically. And then I'll show you guys very quickly this deck the changes that I made. Basically, I took out the immune boost, what are they called? Armor dudes, the ones that absorb armor at the back, the cavalry. Although maybe I should have taken out a Redanian Elite actually, because although they actually, when they got their armor removed by weather, they got better, so that's not too bad. But basically got 3 first lights and 3 blue stripe commandos in here, and that's kind of what you need to do to win. But that's been the Monsters Challenge, and if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. I wanted to unlock Dagon so I could do a beginner Monsters Weather deck. Maybe not Ragnarok and Woodland Spirit levels, but, you know, a beginner-friendly one. But yeah, thanks for watching, and if you've liked this video, like I said, hit that thumbs up button. Keep an eye on the channel for more content. I'm currently focusing on beginner content because open beta's just started, but we'll have more advanced deck strategies as time goes on for those of you who are obviously a bit more advanced in the game. Yeah, keep an eye out today for the beginner monsters deck. I'll put that up today. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye.